The movie starts and bam, we're in London, where these construction guys find this super old knight's grave. And get this, the knight has this crazy red gem buried with him. Then this rich, mysterious dude named Henry shows up. He pays the workers a bunch of cash and is basically like, get lost, this is my site now. Then he gets all dramatic and says you can never really hide the truth. So he starts telling this whole story from way, way back. There's this Egyptian princess named Amenet, and she's a total badass warrior who's supposed to be the next queen. The whole kingdom's gonna be hers. But then, surprise, her dad, the pharaoh, has a baby boy with his second wife. And just like that, the new baby is the heir, and Amenet loses everything. She is so ticked off you have no idea. So she decides to get some serious revenge. She makes a deal with the god of death, promising to bring him into the human world in exchange for ultimate power. After the deal is done, she straight up murders her dad and the baby brother. It's super messed up. She's about to stab this guy she chose to be the demon's host, but before she can finish, the priests burst in and capture her. They mummify her alive while she's screaming and bury her in this special coffin far, far away from Egypt. The whole point was to make sure she never, ever came back. Okay, so flash forward to today. We meet these two soldiers, Nick and Chris, in Iraq. They get into a huge firefight with some terrorists, and things are looking bad. To save themselves, they call in an airstrike, and the explosion opens up this massive hole in the ground. It's a tomb. Nick wants to go exploring, but his senior officer shows up and is like, no way, you guys are in big trouble. They start arguing, and it's a whole thing. Right then, this archaeologist named Jenny walks up. She goes right to Nick and just slaps him across the face. She's like, you stole my map, and wants to know why he's suddenly so interested in history. Anyway, she convinces the officer to let them go down and check out the tomb. So they go down, and it's not a tomb at all. It's a prison. There's mercury everywhere to keep evil spirits away, and all these guard statues held down with chains. It's totally creepy. This place wasn't built to honor the dead. It was built to keep something awful from getting out.
Nick and his crew are in this crazy tomb, and they're running out of time, right? So Nick just blasts a chain with his gun, and this huge, creepy coffin comes rising up out of the water. The second he sees it, he starts getting these freaky visions of this ancient lady, Amenet. It's totally weird. Then his buddy Chris gets bit by a spider, and you could just tell something is messed up with him. He's not acting right. So they haul the coffin out, and suddenly the sky is just full of crows. It's a super bad sign. Then they get the coffin on a plane to fly it out, but Chris is completely possessed now. His eyes are all blank, and he's trying to get the coffin open. They try to stop him, but he goes totally nuts and just starts attacking everyone. He even stabs the officer in charge a bunch of times. He's about to kill Jenny, so Nick has to shoot him. He shoots his own friend. And right then, the crow has attacked the plane, smashing through the cockpit glass. It's a total disaster. So Nick gives Jenny the only parachute and pushes her out to save her. A few seconds later, the whole plane just goes down. Everyone dies. But get this, in the morgue, with all the body bags lined up, Nick just wakes up. Surprise! He sits right up, not even a scratch on him. Then his dead friend Chris appears like a ghost and spills the beans. He's like, dude, you're cursed. Amenet chose you, and she's going to use you to bring this god of death into the world. Meanwhile, Amenet herself is broken out of the coffin. She's basically a walking mummy, and she's sucking the life out of people to make herself strong and get her body back. So Nick finds Jenny, and she's freaking out. She's like, how are you even alive? You don't have a single injury. She tells him she works for this secret archaeologist group, and they know all about Amenet. She was this evil princess who was so bad they literally erased her from history. They're looking for this magic dagger that belongs to the death god, and it needs a special red gem to work. This old-timey knight was buried with the gem to keep it safe, and they just found his grave. So that's the next big thing. They have to get that gem before Amenet does.
Okay, so while all this is happening, Amenet is totally in Nick's head, telling him her whole sad story about why she killed her dad and the baby. But then, get this, Nick's dead buddy Chris just pops up as a ghost that only Nick can see. Chris is like, dude, we're cursed. We're immortal or something. That's why you didn't die in the plane crash. You have to go along with this. It's a total mess. Then Jenny gets a call from her boss, and he's like, bring Nick to me. Now, Jenny tells Nick they have to go, but Nick is like, no way, we're going back to that coffin first. So they get to the ambulance with the coffin, and it's a total disaster. Amenet is loose, and she's literally sucking the life out of people to become more human and powerful. She comes right for Nick, but as she's about to attack, she looks at her dagger and realizes the red gem is missing. She totally panics. Then she spots Jenny and starts chasing her down. Nick manages to grab Jenny, and they jump in a truck to get away. But then Amenet uses her spooky mind powers on Nick and makes him floor it, and he crashes the truck. Amunet is about to kill Jenny when, bam, these mysterious dudes in black show up and capture all three of them with these weird mercury-tipped darts. They get taken to this giant secret headquarters. And you're not going to believe this, Jenny's boss is Henry, the rich guy from the start of the movie. He tells him he runs a secret group that hunts monsters. Then he drops another bomb. He's a monster too. He shows them this injection he has to take to stop himself from turning into this psycho evil guy. He takes him to a room where he's got Amunet all chained up and he's doing experiments on her. Turns out they found the red gem at the knight's tomb. And Henry's plan is so messed up. He wants to let the demon god possess Nick using the dagger, and then he's going to kill Nick and cut him up to study the evil. He literally just wants to use Nick as a lab rat because Nick is the one Amunet chose. But while this is happening, Amunet uses a gross little spider to possess one of Henry's guys, and he helps her escape. Nick hears Henry's plan and gets so mad that he steals Henry's monster juice injection. Henry starts to totally freak out and turn into his evil self, so Nick has to stab him with the injection to make him normal again. In all the chaos, Nick and Jenny run off to try and destroy the gem. But Amunet is free now, and she's not playing. She creates this massive swirling sandstorms that just swallows London. It's insane! She goes back to that first tomb and raises this whole army of dead, dusty knights. Then she kills all the guards there and finally gets her hands on the red gem. Meanwhile, Nick and Jenny are getting chased through the London underground by these zombie knights. They break through a wall and fall into this flooded chamber. Before they can even catch their breath, Amunet appears and just drags Jenny underwater, drowning her. It's awful. Amunet's zombies grab Nick and she's got the dagger with the gem ready to finally stab him and bring her death god into the world. They have this huge fight and Nick actually manages to grab the dagger from her. He's about to smash the gem, but Amunet stops him. She's like, wait, don't destroy it. If you stab yourself, you'll become a god. You'll have all my power and we can rule the world together. So Nick looks at Jenny's dead body, looks at the dagger, and stabs himself right in the chest. All the evil power of the death god rushes into him. He's totally possessed. But then he looks over at Jenny, and for a second, the real Nick fights back. He gets control of himself, walks over to Amunet, and just sucks all the life out of her, turning her back into a dried-up mummy. Then he uses his new god powers to bring Jenny back to life. Jenny wakes up, totally confused. The scene changes, and we see Nick in the desert. He found his ghost buddy Chris and brought him back to life, too. So now Nick is basically the new mummy, a good guy but also a monster, and he's riding off into the sunset to find his purpose. And that's how it ends.